fake, real news. Fake, real news. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another edition of Fake Real News. Welcome to another edition of Fake Real News. We're here today to bring you some of the realness. We're here today to bring you some of the realness about some of the things that's actually going on in and around our community and our states. And so one of the ways that we're going to do this, multitasking, so y'all bear with me. One of the ways that we're going to do this is going to let you know what is going on in and around the world. You say fake real news. What is fake real news? Well, let me tell you what that is. That's actually a play on words because the current administration, and hopefully he's not going to be in office long, but the current administration is actually always talking about fake news, fake news, fake news. Every time a story come out, what he says is fake news. Well, we're here to tell you it's not fake news. It's not fake news at all. It's just news that he don't want to come to the forefront. And because of the fact that he don't want it to come to the forefront, he's quick to tell you that it's fake news, fake news, fake news. Don't get caught up in the hype. We are here to tell you that though you may agree with us or may not agree with us on some situations or some topics that we talk about, we're here to tell you from our perspective and our living experiences what we think about the subject matter or whatever it is. We're not here to sugarcoat it. We're not being paid by anybody to be here. We're here to tell you the truth. And when you say fake real news, let him say it's fake. But we're here to tell you that we're here to give you the real news as we see it from our perspective. Whether you agree or not, it does not take away from what we think is real news. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I encourage each and every one of you to please invite your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, or anybody that you know to come in and be a part of fake real news. Let's go to Bishop.
Good afternoon. I'm Gregory Adams, known as Bishop. Everybody generally calls me Bishop. But I'm glad to be a part of the inaugural broadcast of Fake Real News, coming to you by DKM Media Group and Associates. It is an honor to be able to talk about the incidents that are taking place in the world, but more so in America, as we bring our perspective, as he stated, our perspective on the reality of what we're facing in America. Our president has stated that the news media is oftentimes fake, but we want to bring the fake out and let you know the real deal. And that's what DKM Media Group is all about, bringing you the reality of what we have to deal with on a daily basis. So back to you, Raheem.
Good deal. Thank you, bro. I definitely appreciate it. Now, I want to go to, we have a colleague that's actually in California. We have a colleague of ours that's actually in California, and he's going to cover everything from that area, from California, from the California side of it. So let me go to him and find out exactly what's on his heart on this day and time, talking about fake real news. Rodney, how you doing, sir?
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here with you, Raheem. It's a pleasure.
Good deal, good deal. Tell us what you got going on.
Well, we're here in Southern California, and it is election time. People are getting very, very excited about it. As you know, I actually have my information, the California general election. Yes, as you can see, November 3rd, 2020 is going to be a big day, not only just for California, but for states all across the nation. A lot of people are very concerned. I was just looking, doing a little research. You out there watching Fake Real News, you can also do the same thing. You can go to Bing right now, one of the top headlines, especially here in California on Bing. It's saying that there is a chance that there are going to be disruptions at the polls, that they're saying that there are people who are going to be disrupting the polls, intimidating people. So it's going to be a very, very one of a kind, so to speak, election. Everybody's going to get votes in. Make sure if you haven't gotten your ballots, if you haven't gotten your information, make sure you do it. Also, a lot of people are concerned. They're saying, well, I got my ballots. I've sent them in. I don't know what's going on. Also, right here, you can see it. Where's my ballot? You can actually go right here. Where's my ballot? sos.california.gov. There it is. Where's my ballot? .sos.ca.gov. This is going to be able to track your ballot real time and let you know where it's at. This is for people here in Southern California. A lot of people are very, very concerned about their ballot. As we know, there have been things happening. Mailboxes have been removed. Sorting machines have been taken offline. A lot of people are very concerned about that. So make sure that you study, that you make sure that you go through all the propositions. Look at this. This is a very thick. I mean, there is a lot of reading in here. So you got to make sure that you know what you're voting for. Sometimes these propositions can say vote no or vote yes for that. You have to know because it's very, very tricky. It's in how it's all written. And make sure that you understand who you're voting for. Make sure you do your research, find out their background. Are their initiatives and their mission, is it in alignment for you as a voter in your family? Also, looking here on Bing, I'm looking at some of the most recent poll as of 10/7. This is on the national recent poll here on Bing. They are showing as of 10/7 that the spread is actually a 9.7 Biden. Donald Trump is at 41.8, and they are reporting Biden at 51.5. They have several different groups that are actually reporting. Now, what I'm reporting is from a group called RealClearPolitics.com. And these are different surveys so that you can kind of have a consensus how people are feeling. There's also a group called YouGov, YOUGOV. They are showing Biden at a 9 spread. He's at 51 and Donald Trump is at 42. There's another group called IPSOS. They're showing Biden at 12 points ahead. And so they're at 52 and they're showing Trump at 40. There is also the USC Dorms Life, USC Dorms Life, DORNSLIFE. They've been tracking the election from 9/23 to 10/6, and they show Biden with an increase of 11. He's at 53. Donald Trump is at 42. So, on that note, make sure that you are doing your research. Make sure that you vote because it is your right to get out to the polls. Let no one stop you. Let no one intimidate you. A lot of
Absolutely.
times people get into conversations and it can get very heated and they say, well, who are you voting for? You don't have to tell anybody your personal business. You just tell them you're going to vote. That way it keeps people out of your business. It keeps the drama down and you have the ability to go make your voice heard at the polls. Like they say, if you don't vote, you have nothing to say about what happens in politics, the market, jobs, and everything else. So make sure you get out and vote. And we do have to trust the system. What else do we have? The elections are going to be going on from this day forward, but we have to make sure that you and your family, if you are of voting age, please make sure you go out and vote. Make sure you check your local registrar. Make sure you find out where your polling place is. Make sure you check the times so that you know when you're going to go and vote and plan for it. If you're working, make sure that you get off early so you don't miss the poll. And we're very excited about the election. We're going to see great things come about for our nation. And this is everybody's chance to get out and make their voice heard. I am happy to be here as a correspondent. It's Rodney Allen Griffey here in Southern California. And I'm going to toss it back to Raheem. And what you just heard is the California Report for Fake Real News.
Thank you, Rodney. Definitely appreciate you, brother. Definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you. I want to know, Rodney, the booklet that you have there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there a booklet for every state? that has the same information?
There should be information. This is the official voter information guide. This is here in Southern California. I would advise you to make sure that you do this, go and find out. This is here in Southern California. I am sure that these are in just about every state. You need to make sure that you do that, and do your research. I'm actually here on Bing, and I was doing a little research for the broadcast here, and it's incredible. There's a lot of information out there, but make sure that you get your uh, your information packet. Again, this is from the official election mail right there, as you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Vote safe, California. You know, California, they do a pretty good job as far as getting information out. And it has everything in here from bond initiatives, propositions, it's all in here. And again, this is no, this is no little,
Yeah.
this is a lot of reading.
Yes, it
So
is.
people a lot of times don't like to read. You have to just get you a cup of coffee, or tea, or water, and sit down and really take a notepad and make sure that you make your notes. Find out if these people are going to do what you want them to do in politics, because the only way to make sure that your voice is heard and make sure things are done from your perspective is to vote.
Absolutely. Good deal, Rodney. I definitely appreciate that. I'm going to go over to Gregory and find out what he think about this whole situation and what you think about the whole voting process and why should we vote?
It is, thank you, Raheem. It is very expedient and necessary for us to go out and vote. That's our voice that we send to those who are elected to let them know that this is what we expect of them. We're your constituents, more so or less, we're your boss. We allowed you to occupy those seats, and you're supposed to be there for the common good. When the inception of America came to place, they wanted to get away from the tyranny of King George, so they established the proclamation, the proclamation that is going before us, that we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, assure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare at hand. So this is what our country was designed to do, and we elect these individuals that's supposed to have our best interests at stake. So you need to vote. If you don't vote, you really don't count. And for those who say, well, my vote don't count anyway, it doesn't count because you don't vote. And you got to educate yourself. I can say this, and I'm going to get ready to send it back to you, Raheem, after I make mention of this. The governor of Michigan, there was a plot to kidnap her, and then they were going to have an internal trial among themselves, which are classified as a white supremacist group. And they were going to mess around. Once they came up with their judgment, then they were going to execute this lady. Now, I'm not trying to point any fingers at President Trump, but during the debate on last week with him and Joe Biden, he was asked, will he denounce the white supremacist group?
Yes.
And his words were to stand down and stand by. Mm-hmm. And he then criticized the governor of Michigan. So these may be his henchmen set out to do a work to try to destroy this person's life because he wants to serve 4 more years as the president of the United States. But for the number of years that he's been in office, he has brought nothing but chaos and ignorance to that Oval Office, to the presidency, the man that's supposed to be leading the free world. So for something like that, yes, you do need to get yourself involved. You need to vote and make your vote count. And pay attention, as our correspondent in California, Rodney Rippey, said, yes, you need to vote. If you don't vote, don't complain. So back to you, Raheem.
Good deal, good deal. And we're going to play a little bit of that particular clip, what happened with the young lady in California. We're only going to play maybe about Michigan. We're going to play a little bit of that because I think it's very important. I think it's very important that you hear what is said and what was said by her and how she was appreciative. Because keep in mind, they were not taking her to a cookie party. They were not taking her to get some ice cream. They had some very bad intentions for this young lady. And if this is your president of the United States of America, If this is your president of the United States of America, and if he condones these type of activities, what type president of the United States of America do we have? Let's take a listen. Okay, something's going on with our volume there. Okay, might not be meant for us to hear that particular clip, so that's okay. That's okay. So something's going on with the volume on that particular clip, but that's okay. We'll keep this thing going and go right back to where we were. But let me go back to if it's okay. I want to go back to California, and I want to speak to Rodney. Rodney, what is on your heart right now? What do you think about this whole situation about what happened in Michigan?
Well, I think this is a very, very serious issue that um, it looks like we are getting very, very far um, out of alignment when anybody, any personal group, any individual feels that they have the right to put anybody on trial based upon their own ideologies. I think this is America is getting into the wrong state of mind in a big way. I mean, America has been in the wrong state of mind for based on so many things that have happened in the past, but now is the time, now, right now is the time for people to get themselves together and for people to start understanding that this is the United States of America. It's not half blue, it's not half red. We are American. And the first thing is we have to come together, both parties have to get together and figure out what is going to be best for our nation, what is going to be best for our economy, what is going to be best for our schools, our senior citizens, our environment. I mean, it's really getting kind of crazy, and thank God that the federal government um, has in check things in place to make sure that they get ahead of things. A lot of people, people feel like, oh, well, I don't want Big Brother listening to this. Me, frankly, I could care less because the reality of it is, if you are living a decent life, you do what you're taking care of your family, you pay your taxes, you mind your own business, you know, I don't mind having somebody looking over my shoulder simply because think about that lady. Think about that lady's life, her children. If it wasn't for somebody looking over her shoulder, there might have been a very bad plan accomplished. They would have kidnapped the woman, they would have took her out somewhere, gave them their own particular trial, and Lord only knows what would have happened to that woman's life or her own well-being. I think that this would be a very, very serious wake-up call for everybody across the nation because guess what? It could happen to anybody. There are all kinds of political figures and people in prominent places, and if people start getting the idea that they can personally judge or personally put somebody on trial, any group, anybody, it becomes a very, very serious issue. So I think that, hats off to the federal government and all the agencies that were involved that actually foiled this plot. And thank God, I'm sure that lady. Imagine yourself, imagine your wife, your daughter, being stalked by somebody like that to have a very sinister plan put in place. Imagine how you would feel if someone happened in your family. So this needs to be a very serious issue that everybody needs to take at heart. And we as Americans, we need to get it together. And I think this election is going to do it. We need to be prepared for what will come. We will be prepared for who is going to win. And I hope that everything is in place to make this election safe, sane, and accurate.
Good deal, good deal. Now what we're going to do now, we're actually going to I really want to play that clip, but we're having some difficulties, technical difficulties, how it is sometimes. things don't work out according. But we're gonna get back to that clip. But what I want to do right now, I actually want to go to Gregory and find out what he think about the vice president election, the vice president debate. I'm sorry, that happened a few days ago. How did Kamala, I miss her name every time, Miss Kamala, how did she do? Did she represent herself well?
Raheem, I looked at the debate between she and Mr. Pence, Mike Pence, and I think she handled herself very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to sit on the sideline and Monday morning quarterback on thinking what she should have said, how she should have said it, but she said it the way it needed to have been said. One thing I really applaud her for was that she did not lower her standards to try to compete with him. He bullied the debate. He overexhausted time allowed for him to speak. When she was speaking, he'd cut in. But what do you expect? That's the same thing the president did to Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together. There's no respect for their fellow colleague or their opponent. They want to dominate, and if they can influence with their fake lies, fake news that they're trying to display, then they feel like they can get their program over. But I think the American people are waking up. I think they see through the hoods that they wear. Oh, got a little bit personal, huh? They can see through the makeup that they're demonstrating, that they're wearing. They know that they're fake. They know they're not real. They know that they do not have the American people at heart.
Yeah.
I'm going to go here. This stimulus check is nothing but the money that we taxpayers have been paying in for years. And they have not done anything extraordinary for us. But imagine, people have lost their jobs. Most of them, their mortgage is more than $1,200 a month. Their living expenses are more than $1,200. That $1,200 was nothing but cotton candy, so to speak. And most people are still suffering because of the loss of employment or jobs being closed or shut down or they're being laid off because of COVID. So if you want to satisfy my need, you need to give me more than $1,200 because I got to pay my mortgage, my car insurance, my health insurance, whatever else that I need to apply that money to, I need to pay it. So I appreciate that little stimulus check, but we need much more. Don't play the smoke and mirrors. Don't get fooled. Don't be blindsided by the smoke. And don't let the mirrors or the reflection fool you because their hearts are not toward the American people. So the debate, Kamala did a wonderful job. I myself, being a former politician, I'm very familiar with how politics go in debates and over forums. And she handled herself very well. And if I were to rate it, I would most definitely give her an A+.
What would you give Pence?
Are you sure you want to answer that? You want me to answer that? I most definitely would give him an F. F because he has failed the American people. He and Donald Trump. Back to you, Raheem.
Wow. See, that is what we do here. This is fake real news. And we give it to you from our perspective. We don't try to hold back. We're not here to sugarcoat it. We're here to tell you the absolute truth. This is fake real news. Now I want to go back to California. I want to go back to California and find out what Rodney thinks about the vice president debate that happened. Who won, who lost? What are the pros and cons on both sides, if you don't mind doing that for us, Rodney?
Well, I mean, I was actually in between a couple of things here in Southern California. I wish I had been able to catch the full debate, but I've actually watched some of the highlights and things like that. And I just think that they do need to initiate some kind of plan because if people cannot stay to their time, they should start a rule that if you do not quit talking at your time, every time you do that, you get less time on your next question. I think that would start. I think if they have a clock, they need to start, because it is about bullying. It is about talking over somebody and cutting in. And I understand when people like to argue or debate, it's all about forcing your opinion before others to kind of sway their thinking. But the facts are the facts. And so I'm just wanting to see a great election with people, the United States of America, that they get out and vote. And there's so many different things. I was just reading my guide here. I mean, there's a $1 billion initiative for stem cell research in California. And so these are the type of things that we need to really dig into to find out what am I voting for? Who is behind certain things, these propositions? So it's going to take some uh, real homework.
Mm-hmm.
Again, get a notepad, sit down with a pen and paper, mark up your guides. Make sure that you know and take them with you if need be, so that when you get and study all the way to the polls. So when you get there, you can actually vote and vote from your heart and vote with the best of your ability, because this is going to be a very, very important election. I think that the people are going to see, they know what's going on. And I think people are wise enough. The American people are wise enough to know what is best for their family, what is best for them as individuals. And I hope that everybody votes accordingly. That's what it's all about. A lot of people have fought long and hard. And a big thank you to our military who keep our freedoms in place, who go and put themselves in harm's way so that we have the right to vote. So on that note, make sure that you get out on November 3rd. Make sure that you make your voice heard. Vote. I'm going to be out there to definitely vote. And it's just an honor to be an American and be here. And so let's make it happen. I know a lot of people say America's not what it used to be, but now's the time to make it much better.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, what we're going to do now, we actually going to get out of here, because my thing was I didn't want to stay too long. I want this to be an introductory type show where we can actually introduce ourselves and everybody about what we're going to do moving forward. I think it was a great broadcast. Before I go out, I'm going to go to Greg. Greg, what's on your heart, brother?
Raheem, I do appreciate DKM Media Group.
Mm-hmm.
What we're presenting to the people that are able to watch this program.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Rodney, our correspondent in California, how we come to bring the fake news and make it real.
Yes.
We're not ashamed. We don't possess the three S's. We're not shamed, shy, nor scared.
Mm-hmm.
But we do want to really educate you and explain to you what is and what is not, so that you can be properly informed. And I think Rodney did a wonderful job bringing to us what's going on with the polls as it stands right now in California. And starting next week, October the 12th, early voting starts here in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and vote. Know the candidates. We don't tell you who to vote for, but
Mm-hmm.
we do want you to be aware of what's going on in America.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a major serious election, and your vote does count. In spite of what anybody may think and feel, your vote really does count. And thank you, Raheem. Back to you.
Absolutely, it counts. And only way your vote don't count is if you don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
How much more simple can it be? Let your voice be heard. There are so many people that died to make sure that we all have a right to go and vote. Black, brown people, we have a responsibility. Ladies, there's a responsibility there, because for a long time, neither one of us was able to vote. Black and brown people or women were not allowed to vote. Now we all can vote. If you were incarcerated and you've gotten out, and people tell you that you can't vote, that's not true. You can't in certain states. I know here in Georgia you can vote. I'm thinking in California you can as well. But if you paid your debt to society, just like they want your tax money, you want your right to vote. They can't have you can't play the middle. It's not one against the other. You're gonna pay your taxes. You got a right, just like every other citizen, to go out there and let your voice be heard. You've been listening to Fake Real News. This is DKM Media Group and Associates. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us, and know that we will be here every week. Now, this is a shortened show. It's going to be an hour. And then I talked to everybody that's involved, and if after a while we decide we want to make it 2 hours, we'll have that discussion at that time. Bishop looking at me kind of strange right now. I don't know what that means. That means something, but he'll explain it to me later. But we're about to get out of here for today. Thank you all for joining us. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you don't mind, please share the broadcast, and share the broadcast. This is Fake Real News. We're about to get out of here. But before we go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. want you to want you to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. That we shine some of this light on you from the fake real news. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. Love someone. You just might find some love in return. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing to find some love? We all need it. You need it. I need it. We need it. They need it. Have a great day.
I love it when you say that. I just love it, man. You so. That was